Boker Tov, we're continuing in Ruth, and we are at the beginning of Perek Bet, just a few minutes. Perek Bet starts off with the author of Megilat Ruth kind of telling us a piece of information. Ul Naomi moda leisha. This word moda is a rare word in Tanakh. For Shim explained, it means a relative. Naomi had a relative, leisha, a relative of her husband. Elimelech. Ish Gibor Chayil, a strong man, an upstanding man, Memishpachat Elimelech, from the family of Elimelech, Ushmo Boaz, and his name was Boaz. So Rashi explains the family tree, and actually Elimelech was a son of Nachshon ben Aminadab. And Nachshon ben Aminadab, the one that went into the water, etc. So Rashi says he had 4 sons, and one of them was Elimelech, one of them was Salmon, who was the father of Boaz. One of them is a person by the name of Ploni Almoni, which we're going to see later on. And the last one, he doesn't give the name, but he says the father of Naomi. So Elimelech married his niece. Naomi was his niece, Elimelech. Now, Salmon is the son of Nachshon ben Aminadab. Boaz is the son. Now, we're going to see later that we know there was no real yibum here in this story, but there was still a concept that when someone passed away, left a wife, someone from the family should marry. So when they're going to discover that Boaz is a relative, there's a connection. Basically, they are Boaz and Ruth. Ruth was married to Boaz's first cousin. That's the connection between Boaz and Ruth, kind of first cousins. And they're going to say that, hold on, there's a closer relative, which was Ploni Almoni, which was the uncle of Ruth, or the uncle of the husband of Ruth. So maybe it should go to him, and we're going to see that he's going to say, Boaz, go for it. Go, take Ruth yourself. He's not going to take her. So that's the family connection. They're all from Nachshon ben Aminadab, and Rashi ends off by saying that the zechut of the tzaddik Nachshon ben Aminadab unfortunately didn't protect Elimelech, because Elimelech on his own left Eretz Yisrael, and he went for the wrong reasons because he didn't want to support his brothers, and unfortunately the zechut of his father didn't stand with him. And then it continues to tell us about the story of Ruth and Naomi. Remember, they're coming to Eretz Yisrael and they're poor. Vatomer Ruth HaMoaviyah Naomi. Ruth tells Naomi, Elecha na hasadeh, I want to go to the field, va'alaketa b'shibolim, and I will go gather the wheat stalks, achar asher emtzachen be'enav, behind a person that will show me kindness. Vatomer la lechi beti, and she tells her, go, my daughter. What's going on over here? This is one of the mitzvot of leket. We know that a person has to do tzedakah. Back in the day when a person had a field, there was a few things that he would need to give for the poor people. Leket, shicha, pe'ah. Pe'ah is leave a corner of your field for the poor. Shicha is forgetting. Let's say you've made bushels of wheat and you gathered everything inside and you forgot one. Oh, you forgot? You can't go back and get it. You got to leave it for the poor. And leket is when a person was cutting the wheat, he would gather it, and then he'd wrap. Some stalks would fall on the floor. Now, if 3 or more would fall, the owner is allowed to pick it up and take it. It's his field. If 2 or 1 would fall, he has to leave it for the poor. So the poor people, that's called leket, the mitzvah of leket. So there's actually an organization called Leket Israel, that all the leftovers of foods they give to the poor. So poor people were walking behind the owners of the field or the workers that were cutting. They were walking behind the poor to get it right away, because if they're going to leave it, another poor guy's going to come and take it. So they were walking behind. So she said she wants to walk behind someone that's going to give her kindness. And there was, a few reasons for this, because she was a stranger. She's new to the place. She was a woman. These are 2 women fending for themselves over here, Naomi and Ruth. It wasn't common for a woman to go out and do these things, but that's what they had. It was just 2 women. So she said, I'm going to go and get some leket and pick up like poor people. And Naomi tells her, go ahead. And then the next pasuk, Vatelech vatavo vatelaket basadeh acharei hakotzrim. She goes and she comes. We're going to explain what this means. She goes and she comes and she gathers in a field behind those that are cutting. Vayiker mikreha, and it happened to be Chelkat hasadeh leBoaz Hashem mishpachat Elimelech. The field that she was going in was the field of Boaz, the family of Elimelech. Then we're going to see tomorrow Boaz sees her, who's this lady, etc. So, what does this mean? Vatelech vatavo vatelaket. The Gaon of Vilna explains. You see from over here that she was a smart lady, Ruth. She went and she came and she gathered. Says the Gaon of Vilna. What happens is if a person's poor, if they walk into a field, which is the halacha is come into any poor person, come to the field. If you find on the floor 2 or 1, you can take it. The automatic thinking of the poor person is right away go and start gathering, and walk toward the end of the field. But what's going to happen is you're going to fill up your sack with wheat. You're going to walk back heavy the whole duration of the field. So what did Ruth do? Vatelech, she walked to the end of the field, to the end, and then she walked back toward the entrance. Smart. She went to the end with nothing. Then she started gathering, and now she has a full sack. Where is she? She's at the exit already, and then she could go leave. So it just shows her wisdom that the pasuk is teaching us. So again, we'll see tomorrow that Boaz inquires, who is this, etc. We'll get to the entire story of Boaz and Ruth. B'ezrat Hashem, starting tomorrow. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Hakasha omer, tzak Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael ficha chibad im Torah, שנאמר, אדוני חפץ, מנצחו, הגדיל תורה וידיר.